בעיה לא חדשה, נגיד שנה, שנתיים או 3 שנים, זה בעיה שנה. נגיד באינתיפאדה החדשה הזאת, אז המחסום הזה מיוחד.
Mr. Maher says that this is the worst checkpoint in the area, and the presence of this checkpoint caused a huge problem for the people who live in Beit Furik.
5 שנים כבר, משנת 2000 עד 2007.
He says that women delivered babies on this checkpoint, ill people died at this checkpoint, and people have to make weddings on this checkpoint.
ולא נתנו לחיילים להיכנס לבית פוריק, ועצרו את השעה 6 שעות.
Mr. Maher brings example of the lady that she lives in Hawara and her mother lives in Beit Furik. Her mother was ill and the lady was not allowed to pass through this checkpoint and to go to visit her mother, because through this checkpoint only people whose addresses are Beit Furik and Beit Dajan are allowed to pass through this checkpoint to go inside. And he speaks about complete disconnection among families. Because of course it happens that the family is in another place. And 6 hours the lady had to wait at the checkpoint till she was able to pass and to visit her ill mother. And we also witnessed it in other places. We have many stories of the same kind at different checkpoints. There was a crowd of people, women with children, and soldiers prevented them from passing. And you know, soldiers were just putting guns like that and saying, go away, go away. There was a situation, there was a mother with a boy, 10 years old boy, you know, his eye was completely swollen like an apple. And I told the guy, the soldier, how can you prevent this child to go to the hospital? It was, you know, so obvious, nothing to hide, you know. And the soldier told me, this is not a child, this is a terrorist. And these women are not women. They give birth to terrorists, and these babies grow terrorists. You know, and you know, soldiers, and not only soldiers. Israeli society needs this dehumanization of Palestinian society in order to do this oppression. Israel is thinking in terms of the logic of war. It never thinks in the logic of peace. And that's sort of directing towards this hopeless situation. The road is the road only for Jews. It's an apartheid road, it's a in the terminology of the Israeli Defense Forces, this is a sterile road, sterile from Palestinians. Palestinians are not allowed to drive here. And you will see soon what does it mean for them. It means that when they need to go south, they have to enter Nablus and to go out through Hawara. In order to get a permit, in order to get a permit to go south, they need to arrive to Hawara because there is an office. It is named in English
DCO, District
Coordination Office. Now it's a catch-22. They need a permit in order to go to this office to get a permit. You see, but they cannot go there.
The end. That is, this road is the end. We cannot go beyond that in our sense. The settlers are throwing these stones to make people unable to pass through this street. And because of this, the soldiers came and put this kind of fence in order to protect the people when they are passing. This is all of the day they throw rocks on the people.
My name is Tony Nassar. I'm from Bethlehem, and I teach religion in the Evangelical Lutheran School in Bethlehem. This land, my father and my grandfather, they bought it since years ago, and they start to work here in the land, planting trees, doing a lot of work here. So, and me and my brothers, we want to continue with this, to keep this land. 1992, the Israelis sent us a paper that this is under confiscation. So, as you see, around the land, we have settlement, and maybe they want to have it because it's on the mountain, and they like to have the land on the mountain. But what we are doing here, we work in our land, and we want to keep it for the family, for us. 3-4 years ago, they came with the bulldozers and with the bagger, and they start to work in our land to open a road, and they came with many settlers, and so and they said that we want to have this land because it belongs to us. So we tell them that it's belong to us, to the family, and they said no, we want first to open a road, and you can use the road as you as a family, you can use it, and we together. And we tell them that this is private property, please, you have to leave from here. So they start to call. They called the army, the Israeli soldiers. They came, and in the end they said, so you are both of you're not allowed to work here, so you have to move to this area. And when they went out of the land, they pulled more than 300 trees.
What kind of trees?
Olive trees, the settlers. I dream that we have, for us and for her, a better future, to live in our country with peace and justice, to give them the opportunity, to live in their country with peace, real peace, We are here, we want to keep our land, and we have to have a hope you know, as Palestinian Christians, we have to have a hope to have our land and to live in our country. No, the problem with the Palestinian Christian, there are many Palestinian Christians left immigrating to other countries in the world.
And why are they emigrating?
Because it's the closure and there is no jobs for them, so they leave the country to work and to study. And many also Christians, they went out to study and they stay there because if they come back there is no job here to work. And as you know now the wall surrounding Bethlehem, and so we live in a big prison, you know.
So, not only did Netanyahu build there, but during this whole Oslo process, the settlements were actually being built and confiscated at a rate faster than when Likud was in power. And it was a very, Palestinians saw this as a very cynical approach to the peace process. If you're going to continue to take land and continue to create facts in the midst of the negotiations, they couldn't understand why they were part of these negotiations. When Shamir left office, Prime Minister Shamir in the early 90s, when he left about 2 months after he was out of office, he was asked point blank, why did you begin these talks in Madrid and places with the Palestinians, knowing that you could be one day giving up land in the West Bank or in Gaza or even Jerusalem? And he said, look, I knew that we could drag these negotiations out for at least 10, maybe 15 years, and by then there would be nothing left to negotiate.
My name is Naveen Sadas from Bejala. I'm working at the Christmas Lutheran Church in Bethlehem with the youth and the children. I just want to say that it's important for the foreigners from the state of Europe to come to visit my country and to see what is going on here. The media gives very wrong information about what is going on here. So it's important to come and see what is going, because many think that the Palestinians are terrorists and killing the Israel, and Israel the victim, don't do anything, just try to protect herself. But the reality is completely different. That they need to protect themselves, they start to build the separation wall. They confiscate our land. They didn't build the separation wall on their territories, their land. And they created another problem. The farmers are not allowed to go to farm their land, their fields. The children, students are not able to go and to attend schools. So, and to have jobs, we are not able to do that. And to find, to visit our families, they separate families from each other. Separation wall doesn't protect Israel at all. Not just that, they create another problem, I told you, and we still feel anger that they don't give us our rights. They make Palestine as a baby or the biggest prison of the world.